This is the self-titled podcast of the Golf in Japan website, where you can check essential information in English about golfing in Japan, including more than 2,000 courses. We can help you book your round and make the whole process a whole lot easier. So check out golf-in-japan.com and start planning your Japan golf trip today.
Titleist Club Fitting, the fastest way to better. With a player-focused philosophy on fitting, Titleist offers a range of club fitting experiences from drivers to wedges. Your Titleist fitting specialist, thanks to an unmatched selection of products and technology, along with a wealth of fitting knowledge, will provide you with tour-quality fitting experience that can provide immediate benefits for your game. You can experience a fitting in English while in Japan. Just go to the Golf in Japan website and click on the Titleist banner. Or check the link in the description of this podcast. Titleist, the fastest way to better.
Okay, golf in Japan. Sunny, beautiful day in Tokyo. The cherry blossoms are in full whack today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I think a lot of them's gone.
Really? I live on
last couple of
Sakuradori
days.
and they're all full gone.
There's a guy just downstairs there taking photographs of the two sakura trees out the front of that building. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
TGIF as well. And the weather has been absolutely rubbish this week. It was snowing, it was crappy weather. Now it's like gone really nice again.
Yeah,
It's good to see.
it sure is.
All the parks will be super crowded with people,
It'll
wanting to
be
get
this
out of
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will too.
This is the big time.
The last big weekend.
And Damon, you're back from your sickness. How's it going?
Yep, still struggling with it a little bit. To be honest.
sounds
Doesn't
more
he look
sexy,
$1 million
doesn't
though? 6
Yeah.
kgs down. Because I only see every week. You can definitely
goodness.
see a difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could do like movie trailers now.
Correct. Yeah.
And coming up next.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you having to buy a new wardrobe? Has it got to that state yet where your pants are starting to fall off and things
Yeah,
like that?
to be honest, I mean, I've been trying to lose weight for the last couple of years, and I've always said to myself, I'm not buying any clothes till I lose the weight type of thing.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I'm there now. I need
Good on
to start.
I'm
going
the
to
opposite.
shop.
You know, when you throw on the suit and you're like, oh crap, it doesn't close. Next. But then you don't throw it away because you're like, well, I will lose weight.
I'll lose weight.
Fit it, I'll
Yeah,
fit
that's
back
right.
into that.
Yeah,
someday.
Of course. Yeah.
Or hand-me-downs.
What weight are
it's
you?
just
Because
a-
you're tall. Can I ask you that on?
You know me,
On
dude.
air?
Like, I'm bad. Like, I don't pay any heed to numbers, so I really don't even know how tall I am or how old I am or,
Or what your golf score is?
Yeah, no, that's also, it's all just.
Are you serious? You don't know how tall you are?
So I think when I came to Japan, I was told I was 185 centimeters, but then every time I go in for a health check, I like keep getting shorter and shorter.
That's bad posture.
Yeah, well, I think probably gravity or.
Me too. I started life as 185 centimeters. Not anymore. It's 183 maybe. I remember I did my back in.
You're 183. You don't even look 180.
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you guys are the same height, aren't you?
He's taller than me for sure.
Yeah,
is
I'm
he?
only 185.
Yeah. No, I was, but I remember I did my back in twice. I remember going and looking at an X-ray, and then he had like, side profile of the X-ray, and then on the back, and it was curved that way, and it was curved that way.
How is it?
And I was like, crap, this is when I did my back in properly.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was lying down for like 2 weeks. And then the height never came back. Lost a few
That's a
cents.
Your X-rays look like a screw.
I think I could scrape over 6 foot though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
scrape
well,
over
183
6 foot, yeah.
centimeters is right on 6 foot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can scrape over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're taller than Damon though.
Am I? No.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe technically, but not in like stature. Not in gravitas.
He has got a very commanding presence, hasn't he?
It does.
Yeah.
I think probably when I walk into the room, I probably like shrink down a little bit too. Just to,
I think Joe has you're out of this conversation, mate. You're
Oh,
you're a
yeah,
short arse.
I've had, when I've gone for the health checks, I've been 181, but I've also been 179, which I think I'm about 179, 180. Yeah.
It's all
but I
in the
always thought I was 179, and I went for the first health check, and it was 181. But I reckon they was a bit dodgy to try and make people feel better about themselves.
maybe
It's
you were wearing
181.
your platform shoes.
Yeah,
your
exactly,
dancing
my
shoes.
That's so Japanese.
I've got lifts.
I was in a golf cart the other day, and it was in Japanese, and it was saying, in roughly translation, it was saying, instead of saying "hurry up, you're slow," it was saying, you're a little bit behind. You can do it. Gambate. That's so
love it.
nice.
It's very Japanese.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I have a quick story. I was in America and there was some frat kids like on the other side of the street where I was living, and they were like throwing a party. And the American thing that I would want to say is like, shut up. You know, like that's what you would say, like, you know, shut up. But instead I did the Japanese thing and I said like, you're loud. And I shouted at them and they got really quiet and they're like, so are you, you know, but it always struck me because it wasn't combative. It actually really diffused the situation.
Oh,
They were
okay.
like, oh, I guess we're being loud. Like, you know, it's like where if I had said shut up, they probably would have like kicked my ass, you know, but.
I'll ask you guys because you're better Japanese speakers than me do. So than I am. When someone plays into you on a golf course, right? And you turn around and you want to give it something in Japanese, what do you say? Hora! Nani yatten da yo? Like that?
Yeah, that's pretty
It's pretty combative.
pretty competitive. Yeah. Maybe I'd just go kora or something like that.
Yeah. Or
Like quite
step on the
loudly.
ball.
Yeah,
100%.
or just pick it up and
Oi, chotto.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Chota.
or just yell out abunai.
They're like, 250 yards behind you. So you have to go,
Yeah.
"Oi, Chota!"
So what do people say to you when you do it, Joe?
So if someone hits into me,
When you hit into someone,
What'd you say?
What are they
I don't
turned
get it
around?
far enough. Never hit into anybody, but it's straight.
What would you say in Australia?
Oh, look, I'm really cool with things like that. I've seen some terrible things on golf courses, and people in Australia are competitive.
Yeah.
So you've got to be a little bit careful. Many years ago, I took a group of kids on a golf course, and another group from another fairway tee box actually bounced, and the ball, he hit the ball, bounced through the kids and hit me. Anyway, the guy came up and I said, look, you've just almost killed the kids and you've hit me. And he got angry at me. He started arcing up at me. And he was this big guy, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just not going to get involved. I said, kids, let's go. So from that point onwards, I've been reluctant to say
I mean,
anything to anybody.
you look on Instagram or whatever these days, and there's so many instances, people get into a big punch up or something or other, and it's quite violent.
I'm a little bit the other way. I always try and diffuse it and just say, look, people come up and say, I'm sorry. I said, no worries, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because they're sorry. I mean, it's an awful thing to do. It's an awful feeling if you do it to people. It's like, God.
Getting a ball. Have you ever gotten hit by a ball? Obviously,
Yeah, a couple
been
of
hit by a
times.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Twice I've been hit by a ball.
Yeah.
Once in the leg, once in the
Yeah,
lower
once in the
back.
leg. I got hit really hard once in the leg. God, it
Savage
hurts.
bruise.
Yeah, it gives you a fright.
What does it feel like? Is it like a bee sting, or is it more like
No, feels like someone hits you with a baseball bat in the leg.
oh wow.
Yeah.
And then it looks like that.
And it looks, I had the dimples in my leg. It actually came up like the size of a golf ball.
Oh, man.
Straight away, and the dimples in my leg.
So like worse than a paintball. I was thinking it might be like, like you get hit by a paintball, that hurts. It leaves a bit of a bruise, but this sounds worse.
I've never been hit like flush. I've once hit the ground and then hit me. And then the other time it came off a tree and hit me.
Right.
But both times it was like a bullet getting.
Yeah, it's shocking when it happens.
But imagine at a golf tournament like Bryson DeChambeau's 400-yard ball just comes down and hits you in the chest.
Oh, there's a thing on Zygoff this morning. Do you know Greg Chalmers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so an Aussie player, played in the US for a long time. His first time at Augusta, and I think it was 2002, he was talking about, he's a lefty. Off the first tee at Augusta, he's kind of flared one out to the left-hand side and hit one of the patrons in the head, right just above his eyebrow, and it's ricocheted off into the trees. And he's trying to hit his second shot through the trees towards the green.
the same guy?
And hit, not the same guy, but actually pulled it. And he said he hit another person on the opposite side of the fairway. So he said, my first time at Augusta, and I've hit two people on the first hole. Wow.
Then
He said, I felt sick.
Yeah, third shot down the middle, hits a cameraman or something.
And he said, I signed for 78 and I was done. Just devastating.
The Augusta stories are all coming out.
They are, aren't they? It's exciting, isn't it? I'm really looking forward to this year.
You
and all
see
the Liv stars are coming back, and they're all.
I can't wait to talk about Liv, actually. We have to wait a few minutes. There's a bit of,
we
bit
have
of
to
drama
talk about
going on there.
With the guys from YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
I don't
Plus-
know anything about that.
Yeah,
Plus
well,
major
we'll get to it soon.
updates for TGL too, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So what's TGL?
Tokyo Golf League.
Yeah.
There used to be a TGL years ago. Someone set up there was a website called Gaijin Golfers. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. When I first got here, I
Grant,
contacted
the Scottish guy used to run it, and he started a thing called TGL, which was Tokyo Golf League, and it was like a match play type of. I think it was a team thing, but didn't really take off.
No.
But yeah. Okay, should we go into? We'll talk. Our prefecture that we're going to talk about today is Saga.
Saga.
You know where Saga is?
No, I'm going to have to look at it right now on the phone.
Yeah, the hint would be the last few prefectures we've been talking about.
It's right next to
all,
Nagasaki and
okay, all the
Fukuoka,
big old
down
island.
south.
Kyushu.
Okay.
So I do have a little bit of information, but it's yeah, I mean, it's like anything. It's kind of like right underneath Korea.
Oh yeah.
So it's on, the north, I would say, west coast.
Kind of overshadowed by its neighbors, typically. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just looks like just such a kind of a beautiful place. It's very famous for trade, obviously, with being so close to Korea and so on, and seafood, ceramics, obviously. Ceramics is something you don't really think about because Japan, the food culture is so big, but think of all those beautiful dishes and plates and stuff that they
That's its
present
own cottage industry, though. Like,
totally.
if you go, that you can buy really beautiful, like, it's ceramics, like, all over the place. There's nice museums and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have a UNESCO cultural heritage place where it's one of those places where when the tide goes out, you can walk on the beach and there's 48 islands and you can kind of go from one to the other. It's pretty nice. And then this is what I wrote down because this interested me. They have a 3,000-year-old camphor tree.
Wow.
3,000 years. That's old, right?
Wow,
That's
for a tree.
old.
Yeah.
And it's not that high, but it's a big
Just
old wide
grizzled,
gnarly
yeah.
thing.
Wow.
Which looks cool. And then they have it completely surrounded by bamboo forest. Just a clearing, and then the old 3,000.
What to preserve it?
I guess. I don't know.
Nice.
Japanese
Pretty
take care of those trees, though. Like, I remember it being a little bit of culture shock where it's like they give them like socks.
This is the Shinto thing, right? So this is a power spot in the Shinto religion. So you go in there and you pray to this tree and you get get energy from a power spot. Have you ever been to any of those? There's a place in Ise Jingu.
Of course, yeah.
All those kind of places.
You go up and you can kind of
feel heat,
touch the trees and stuff.
That's such a good shrine.
What?
It's a jingle.
Yeah,
it is.
that's pretty mega actually. All of everything down in Mie is pretty good, like for that stuff. But yeah, you go up and sometimes you'll see people just stretching their hands out on a, it could be anything, like a little, tombstone type of deal, and you can feel a bit of heat off it, or you can't. I don't know. Anyway, the seafood is apparently the thing to eat. Obviously down there, yeah, I'd imagine so. What you want to eat is squid sashimi, takezaki crab, and then obviously everyone's beef is very famous, but apparently Saga beef, you eat it in ramen. So they make the kind of shabu shabu
beef
strips
ramen.
of beef, and they put it in the ramen.
It's kind of rare.
Don't know about that.
I'd give that a go.
Yeah, I think
And
the soup would be great.
And the soup looked kind of white and it had loads of sesame on it, and I love sesame.
Yeah, for sure.
So that looks pretty good.
Well, that's like top ramen back in the States. Like, you'd get the 50-cent ramen, and it would be like chicken flavor, beef flavor. So
Go back to the Ika sashimi. You guys into that?
Yeah.
The Ika, which is squid.
No.
The squid
not a big fan.
sashimi.
I'll eat it.
I love it.
A bit chewy.
I love it, especially if it's really fresh.
Yeah.
I drown it in soy, which you're not supposed to do. I drown it in it with wasabi, and I just
Right.
oh my god!
If it's
that's so
fresh,
good.
it's totally different. Because if it's been, if you just buy it at a regular shop, it's quite chewy. But fresh, it does go down a bit
or
different.
totally dried as a snack with your beer.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good
It's
as well.
mega.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
salty, and it's pretty good.
Do you like Ika?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I probably don't
What's
eat it as
in English?
It's squid.
Squid.
As often as I would
Just
like tuna or anything like that. But if I'm still a
there.
bit hungry and what else can I eat? I'll probably go for it.
Very healthy.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. On the golf side, there are 20 golf courses down there, which is
What's crazy? I was going to say about that. There's a famous site called the Yoshinogari Ruins, which was discovered because they were going to build a golf course there. And they
really?
they started they started clearing out all the land and stuff like that to reform the earth or whatever. Then they discovered that it's about a 300 BC Yayoi period settlement was there. So basically a big village or like a that era city.
So they couldn't build a golf course.
So they couldn't build a golf course there, no.
Or they could go around it maybe.
Yeah.
That happens all the time in Ireland. I remember there was we don't get droughts often, but I remember 2 or 3 years ago there was it didn't rain for in August for a whole month. That never happens in Ireland. And then the grass was all dying back, and it revealed all these kind of, I think they're called cairns. They're like a passage to them, and they were coming up everywhere. You could see them, from drones, because you could see that the earthworks kind of come out where maybe before it was like near the coast, long grass and so on, fescue. But but the golf course wasn't built. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, there's 20 other golf courses.
They found something better, the historical site, right? There's only so many of those.
We do have a partner course down there, don't we, Dan?
We certainly do.
It's called Karatsu.
Yep. Part of the Resol group.
Looks really good, actually, because it's perched kind of overlooking the main city.
That looks
and you
great.
could see the you could see all the coast all around. Looks really nice actually, and also, Seiichi Inoue.
Yeah.
You've heard of
Famous
him, right?
designer. Yeah, you've mentioned him a few times.
He's the thing that people freak out about in Japan now. He did Koana, he did Tokyo Golf Club or Kasumi Gaseki, and so basically he studied under this Scottish guy called Allison.
Yeah.
And doing kind of, he had a style of doing bunkers all around the greens, which was like people were really into. And I've played a couple of his courses; they're amazing. And one of the golf courses down there is a Saga Country Club, which is a Seiichi Inoue design. And he said, this is his own words now. I think he designed 45 golf courses in Japan. He said, this is the best golf course in Japan.
Really? Sorry, Saga Country Club or Golf Club?
Saga Country Club.
Okay.
Country Club, yeah.
And it's
so
accessible? You can, your
I checked it
customers
out.
can go and play?
Check this out. It's 11,000 yen to play on weekdays.
Wow.
17,000 on the weekends.
Oh,
so what's that in
that's
dollars, Ryan?
Like
$80.
25
Less.
80
70.
during the week and 125, I guess, on the weekend. Yeah.
So this is Seiichi Inoue, the most legendary golf designer, saying that this golf course that he built in 1969 is the best in Japan. So worth checking out. Then they also have a Desmond Muirhead design, which is Wakagi Golf Club.
Okay.
Which I'm not a big fan of Desmond Muirhead courses, and we argue about this. The greens are just a little bit too insane.
Yeah, we've got one. Sunol Hillcrest is a Desmond Muirhead design.
I do like that golf course.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's good.
Stand corrected.
So Fuji Classic is another one that he did, and Brickenwood is another one that he did. Sorry, what was there was a golf course you were talking about just a second ago, started with a K.
Karatsu.
Yeah, so
Karatsu.
actually if that's Ben Warren, it's interesting, he put something on Instagram the other day. So Ben Warren's a golf course architect, shaper, a bit of a legend here, and a friend of the podcast. Hopefully he'll come on one day. But he took photos and posted them on Instagram the other day, maybe 2 days ago, of that golf course, and he was saying,
Really?
and it was a picture of the coast surrounding one of the putting greens, and it looked unbelievable. And I'm just looking at it on
Yeah, the
Damon's computer there.
turquoise ocean.
What
It's really
I mean,
beautiful.
that is just unbelievable, isn't it?
It's got a bit of a Setochi vibe
Yeah.
to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From their course in Hiroshima.
Right. And
Yeah.
if he's posting it on Instagram, then it must be a pretty special golf course because he wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, but it's different. See, right? See Japan, and then the other one's the Seto Inland Sea.
Yep.
But
Yep.
same kind of vibe. Yeah, loads of little islands, really turquoise and beautiful. And when you're playing golf, that's the kind of vista you want,
Yeah. Karatsu Golf Club. Check it out, people.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
We could book that one. Seems like we could book them all. I couldn't, when I was having a quick sconce, I couldn't really suss out if there was any private members courses. It seems like you can play them all. All 20. So that's good.
Terrific.
Yeah, and a little bit, it's close to Fukuoka, and Fukuoka is kind of a little bit over tourismed at the moment. So like
Right.
Saga, it's just, hop, skip and a jump away
Yeah.
from there. So it might be a good idea. To get there is 2 hours from Tokyo by plane or 6 hours, 20 minutes by train,
Okay.
said Google.
Right.
So we
You
trust
jump on the plane then, wouldn't you? I reckon that's too long to sit on a train.
Does every prefecture in Japan have an airport? I think they do, right?
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought so.
So no.
But then again, name one that doesn't.
Saga. Maybe. Well, it's next to Fukuoka, right? Right next to Nagasaki has one. Fukuoka has one. Tochigi doesn't because I'm a Tochigi guy. We share the airport with Ibaraki.
Right, there you go.
That's their closest airport. So I don't think every one does have it. But they must have quite a few. But okay, cool. So that was Saga.
Saga.
It's a saga. Saga. What was that? Sega.
Sega.
Remember that one?
Oh,
When you
yeah.
were growing up. Okay. Let's go on to some tour news. But before we go on to the tour news, and we talk about Woozy, Dr. Chipinski, whatever else they call
What a
him. over
short
there.
game. Yeah.
Um,
The chef.
we were just talking about before the podcast. DP World Tour is not coming to Japan this year because you banned them. Taiheo said no.
I'm not actually sure if I'm supposed to say this. Yeah, but they decided not to host the event this year. And that's probably all I'll say, which is a real shame, actually. To have the European players over here, all the good young European players over here, and then
And the Japanese.
And they couldn't get
Japanese
a
players,
different
Japanese
course?
players. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. So just seeing, on their schedule and stuff that they played 2 events in China, 1 in Singapore, and then straight over to India and Turkey, I think, and nothing in Japan. But last year it was the ISPS, and everyone was asleep. They had strippers in the
Dinosaurs.
clubhouse, dinosaurs, hula
Yeah,
bands,
yeah.
free ice cream.
People
It was a mess.
planking on the
It's true.
planking on the tea ground.
It was very
bizarre.
strange.
Wait, that sounds
bizarre.
too weird to not be true. That actually probably happened. Didn't
They weren't planking, but they were sleeping.
It was weird. Like, you're watching like these top class players, and all around the tee ground, everyone's just lying down and like got their hats over their eyes. Nobody's looking at the golf.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Do you remember Back to the Future, and their Biff had an alternate world?
Yeah.
It was like that. Like I got there and I thought, what is this?
Yeah.
It was really, really unusual. Yeah, stuff I'd never seen at a golf tournament before. I mean, they're trying something
Was it
different.
kind of like being at a live tournament? Like,
Hey. That's like fighting words. Come on.
It was like there was no shoeies in the. They did, they were just.
They weren't there for the golf.
They were
No,
there
they
for
weren't
the
there
free
for the
ice,
golf.
the free ice cream and the
No,
hula.
they were Dr. Hunda's followers.
Yeah, that's right.
Were encouraged to go out there and play to build up the crowds to make it look like more people were there, and it didn't quite work because, as you said, they were asleep around tee boxes and greens and things like that. So
And the golf was like
so it's kind of like
really
being
good.
at a
it was
Democrat
good.
presidential rally.
Yeah. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, sorry.
Too many Trump videos in my midst at the moment. Okay, let's talk about Woozy. Is that what we're calling
actually,
it?
we'll start with the late. So there's nothing on. Oh, there hasn't been anything. The men haven't started yet. Their tour hasn't started. Actually, I think it starts this week. They've got an event. So there's one event before the Masters. But the ladies, of course, are well into their year. And this is actually a pretty cool story. There was the AXA Ladies Tournament in Miyazaki at UMK Country Club. And a 33-year-old lady who nobody's ever heard of before, called Haruka Kudo, won the tournament. She won it by 2 shots. Haruka is 33 years old. I would probably describe her as a journey woman. It's her first win on tour. She's been on tour since 2011. And I looked through her stats. She hasn't kept her card once, which means she's had to go back to Q school every year since 2011.
Wow.
And she's got it back, and she's lost it, and she's got it back, which is really quite phenomenal that she's sort of kept at it.
Yeah.
She's been on tour, since she was a young lady. But she's had a win, which is really
That's
cool.
great, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I would imagine that probably gives her,
It's like Bland,
obviously, yeah, it is, yeah.
except he was 50.
I mean, he's 50, but she's kept at it, and now she's had a win, and now she keeps her. Obviously, she'll have her card for this year because she's already got it, but then it's usually next year as well, so it gives her employment for the next 2 years. So really cool stories like that.
Q school is really hard to get through.
Oh,
We've documented this,
yeah,
right?
it's brutal.
So like I guess it's probably a mental thing. She's obviously got the game.
Yeah.
She can keep doing Q school and coming in.
That's right.
But she's losing. She's probably missing cuts left, right, centre. It's
Yeah.
probably just the tournament.
Yeah, and I looked at how much money she'd made. I mean, she's not making a whole lot of money, and once you take tax and expenses out of that with caddies and hotels, I mean, she would have a few sponsors, but she's kept at it, and now she's had a win, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that. I'm kind of curious about like the sort of the unseen segment of it. Like, does she have some sort of benefactor, or like how
Sponsors.
could people keep up with it? Because I mean, it's not it's not easy, right? Like you like to
to continue to sponsor a player who's not having success, because what they want is they want the on the top of their hat or the sleeves. They need that to be on television to make it worthwhile.
They need visibility.
Correct, that's what it is. So you understand that coming from your world, the racing world. But she's obviously got some people who are really supportive of her, and they believed in her. And she's got, from memory, I did have a look at a picture of her. She has got some sponsors on there, so that would foot the bill for some of it. But it's been tough going for Haruka for many, many years. So you've got to give her props that she stayed with it, and she's got belief in herself, and she's got across the line, which is great.
she got
So
some
Joe,
oxygen.
come on. This sets the stage for your comeback to professional golf.
That's right.
How's your golf game, by the way?
Apart from my it's okay.
Your back is a bit
my back's a little bit
dodgy.
ordinary at the moment, but I've got the new Scotty Camerons came out the other day, and I've gone to I should know the name of it, but it's 38. The putter is 38 inches, so it's quite long, which allows me to stand up a little bit taller, and it's the first time I've used a mallet style putter. So it's a face balanced putter. Got a big long grip on it, so I'm pretty keen to get out there and give it a try.
Why not
But
get
to
the
answer your
Newport
question,
too?
it's okay. Look, I hit it pretty straight and hit it on the green, and then just can't putt. So hopefully this is going to turn
Your
my
new
game
Scotty
around.
Cup. I want to get the Newport too. The new ones look
It's
amazing.
beautiful. They're beautiful looking putters. The face looks fantastic.
Oh man,
So
got to get it.
keen to get it out.
What about,
Have a try.
they announced that the new GT 280 mini driver?
Yeah, the mini driver is
It's
coming
coming
out.
out
So it's being Michael
April
is-
18th.
Yes, so I think Michael Tamoya Smith is already fitting it. So I've got one of my guys,
No way.
Gary De Silva,
Can I
is
get
going
one?
for a fitting on, I think on Monday, this Monday or next Monday, they're starting to fit it. So
We're going over to Titleist next week, so we can.
So you'll see it.
I'm going to try and scab one off.
Well, I'm just reading an email from Titleist at the moment where we've been invited to go to the new GT-UT series fitting.
Oh, okay. So they would probably, I'm sure they'll have, they probably should have the Mini driver there as well. But
Right, nice.
I'm very keen to have a look at it because it's unusual for Titleist to bring something like that out.
Yeah.
And it's at the best place to do it at too.
Yeah.
Where's that?
The Country Club of Japan.
That's the one where they go to often, which is pretty close to here.
Yeah, it's not far. It's just across the aqua line.
Yeah, and you can hit off grass. Is that right?
Yeah, they've just got an amazing, like a proper testing facility.
Yeah,
It's one of the better short game facilities for sure.
Yeah.
Indoor, outdoor, grass, everything. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, well, I'm in. But I've no golf for the next week or two because I broke a rib snowboarding last weekend. Yeah. Didn't break a rib. It was the cartilage bit in the front.
Oh, God.
Which
There's
apparently
nothing
is
you
better.
can do with ribs, is there? I mean, you just got to let it heal.
That's right. Yeah.
Let it heal, yeah. It's getting better, actually, day by day. But when you breathe in, you can feel it. It's like, it's achy.
I'll tell you a quick story. I taught a guy yesterday. His name is Bryce. He's a young American guy that works. He's works for the US military, and he comes up for a lesson every couple of months. He's down in what's the military base down south?
Yokota or no? Yokosuka.
Okinawa.
Oh, sorry, Okinawa. Yes, he said.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's in Okinawa. Anyway,
That's
he's a brand new
down south,
golfer.
alright.
He's a lefty, and he was practicing in his local driving range, and he's hit a ball, and he's hit it off the toe of his club, and it's hit the corrugated iron in front of him, and it's ricocheted back and hit him in the ribs. And this is a strong young guy, hasn't been able to swing a golf club for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Poor bugger. So that probably doesn't go.
It's like me.
Doesn't say a lot about my teaching, but Bryce, if you're listening,
You hit it off the
hopefully
toe.
you're okay.
Sounds a bit dodgy.
And he keeps coming back to you.
Well, exactly.
I have to go. I'm going to this video shoot on Tuesday. I have to swing a golf club. So I'm like, oh God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Painkillers.
Yeah. Painkillers here are rubbish.
Yeah, they're not as strong.
There's like no effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that too.
I'm self-dosing at the moment, especially in the mornings, just trying to get going, you know.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same.
Double down.
I'll just finish off.
Yeah, go on.
We'll talk about, DP World Tour was in India at the DLF Golf and Country Club. Did you see this golf course? I've seen it a couple of times.
Not a DTF. But...
It's probably the most difficult looking golf course I've ever seen ever.
Really?
It's really, really narrow, and it's got these bunkers that are as high as this room. Like, seriously, they're as high as the ceiling. I mean, it's unbelievable. And that's why the guy that won it only finished at 4 under. So he's an interesting cat, actually. Chikara, he was on the Live Tour. He won very early on. He's a young Spanish guy that was educated in the US, and Liv grabbed him straight out of college, and he won very early, won in Thailand. And so he was on there for 3 years, and then he got off, and he was the first person that complained about Liv and said he was promised world ranking points when he went there by Norman, and you were playing the majors and rah. And he sort of, when he left after his contract, he decided to go back to DP World Tour, and not happy. And now he's got this win, and now he's got access into the major, so he's quite happy. But he was bad mouthing Liv, which is
disgusting.
Yeah,
look, he made an
wipe his
awful
tears
amount
with all that money.
Well, exactly. I mean, he won. I think that first event, he won the event, and also his team won the event. So he's picked up, I think it's 5 or 6 million US.
Right. So, like, I mean, he's got 5 or 6 million straight out of college.
Correct.
That's unbelievable. Like, how long would it take
Right.
him to accumulate that, on the regular tour?
Exactly. And then he's got
He
off
might
Liv,
struggle. Yeah.
and then he had no status anywhere, and he's got on deep at that event. He was actually an invite, and he's gone in there, and now he's won it. Now he's got access to, he's got his card for the next couple of years on the DP World Tour.
Right.
And the cool story about this as well is Kato Nakajima came second for the second event in a row. Came second in Singapore a couple of weeks ago, and came second in this. So he's playing really, really well.
He's leading the points.
Yeah, he is. You were just saying that he's leading the points. And
him.
And the really, really cool thing for Aussie, Minwoo Lee won at the Houston Open on the
what a
PGA
win.
Tour.
Oh,
And it's created
star,
a
man,
huge
that
buzz,
fella.
hasn't it? Like, it's really
It's
cool.
mega.
I mean, it's all over Instagram, and I think he's on TikTok and all that sort of thing, and lots of really funny interviews he's done. So
He's a
what
funny
great
guy,
story.
isn't he?
I think he's got a good sense of
Didn't
humour.
he
sure.
get another 1 million followers in a week or something?
Yeah, it was something
just
ridiculous.
Like blew up.
Yeah.
So now he's like a household name in Australia, and if he wasn't already.
Well, actually, one of my
his
friends
sister.
who I went to school with messaged me, and he said, "I've never heard of Minwoo Lee until he just won this tournament. He's a sports, he's a sports lover and likes golf. It's the first time, so he's. I was really excited about it. It's good for Australian golf. It's good for golf because he's an interesting
he's
character.
cool.
He is cool.
He's not a big guy. That was the
No.
first thing that comes to mind.
No,
I
he's
watched
a
I watched
lightweight.
the final round, and he was super slow though.
Yeah, he is. He
He's
needs to
really
work on
slow.
that. Yeah.
Genie Mac. I mean,
Yeah.
the other guy must have been doing.
Yeah,
his
Toasty's got a he's got a bit of a bad attitude, but he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he was having a go at Minwoo Lee about how slow he was complaining to the rules official about how slow he was. So, yeah, it's something he would be aware of, and he's probably not happy about. But
is there a bit of gamesmanship going on?
Look, I think so. And the problem was Toasty was going the other way. He was having bogeys, and Minwoo Lee looked like he was going to win until he hit it in the
he choked
in the soup
almost,
on 6-15 or 16.
No,
and
but then
he
made an amazing bogey. Then
he made a bogey with
Yeah,
his second
didn't he?
ball, so a birdie with his second ball.
Great putt.
And yeah, I mean, it's interesting. He is a bit of a winner, actually. He's won the Vic Open, the Australian PGA. He won the Scottish Open on the DP World Tour, and now he's won this. And he's been playing really well recently too. You know, he was played well in the first 2 rounds of the Players and then shot 78. But that's a little bit like him. So he became really famous early on as an 18-year-old hitting stingers on YouTube. That's how people start to know about him.
2-iron off the tee.
Correct.
Little draw.
Right, he
Amazing.
just smashes it.
Yeah, hits a 300 yards with a 2-iron.
He does. So his sister is Minji Lee, who's obviously she's won 2, 3. I think it might be 3 majors. Maybe she's won 2, and 15 times she's won on the ladies tour in the US. So she's the more famous sibling. But Minwoo Lee's come along and he's
Not
more
anymore.
exciting. Minji's nice, but she's a little bit more laid. Probably not laid
Yeah,
back,
no,
but a
he's-
little bit more subdued.
He's a YouTuber,
Oh,
a
for
YouTube
sure.
creator,
He
and
is.
all that sort of
He
stuff.
looks so Australian too. Like he's got like the
Well, he's got the long
mullet
hair
and
and the moustache, and the Oakley's on, and
No, he had a kind of a different haircut. He didn't have a mullet when he won. He took it off and he had bits of blonde.
he's got a little bit of blonde in his hair at the
I was like,
moment.
oh, look at that. But that tash has to go.
No way.
What is that? That little cookie dust
He'd
there?
have to get rid of his nationality at that point.
full
So,
bow.
How was the humour on the last putt?
When
You
he
know-
did the aim point, put his feet either
Yeah.
side. And I thought that was
Yeah,
kind of
that was
cool.
cool,
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
excitement when he
And was
won
he turned around to
great.
his sister and gave her a wink and then put it in? It was like, you slick
Yeah,
kid.
he is. He's pretty slick.
I think the crowd loved that as well. It's good.
Yeah,
Do you know what he's like? He reminds totally different personalities, but like Europe, we have Oberg. He's there kind of,
sure.
he's there kind of, nonchalant, strolls up, wins the tournament, no pressure.
Yeah.
I think he's your Oberg
Yeah,
in Roulette.
yeah. I agree with
Mellow comes in, great game, amazing golf swing. The
Yeah.
2-iron stingers, though, are pretty special.
that. Yeah,
I think you got to watch out for this guy. He could become a new live player. Who knows?
he's almost good enough to be on the live. I mean, what you're saying? Like,
In all seriousness, if the PGA Tour did lose him, it'd be a big loss because he's
it
on
would be.
fire
Yeah,
now.
he is on fire. Yeah,
Yeah, from
and it's a bit different. He's wearing Lululemon, so he's got the Lululemon
Oh, is
gear.
that what
and
he's wearing?
That's what
Lululemon?
So he started that, I think, this year. Which is it's a little bit different, but
Yoga
he's a
pants.
great yoga pants.
Well, he's got the body for it, I suppose. He's he is
Yeah, he's pretty lean, isn't he? Yeah,
The
there's
2-iron
not much
hits
of
the
him.
2-iron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not that tall though.
No.
No, there's not much of him, but he's
Just-
got so much speed, but he hits it off the planet. I think he hit less than 50% of the fairways throughout the week, and he's a great chipper and putter, and he hits it long off the tee. So if he has, and the
Dr.
golf course was
Chipinski.
built, the golf course is built. I mean, you can hit it left and right and all over the place, and you're okay. So anytime he's going to go to a place that's a little bit more tree lined, he's going to struggle a little bit.
Augusta.
So that's going to be a struggle for him, I think, because he hits it.
Did you see that video of him? It's like a Jason Day clinic for teenagers, and he's about 14 or 15. And then he's like, "All right, who can hit the longest drive?" And they're all like pushing Minwoo, And then he steps up and he hits a stinger
Right.
in front of Jason Day, and Jason Day was like, "Oh my god, who is this
Wow.
kid?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and he absolutely.
How long ago was this?
Well, he was probably about 15, so
Yeah,
probably
wow.
6 or 7 years ago. And Jason Day was in the height, like he was the big star.
Yeah.
It's well worth a watch. It's really cool, and he's so skinny and just you don't think but the speed he has is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Just on Jason Day, have you seen his new YouTube?
He's doing a lot of stuff on YouTube
Yeah.
recently, isn't he? He does something with
Mate,
Ryan Ruffles.
he's-
Yeah,
Good friends with
They've
Ryan
got
Ruffles. They
a
got the
group
Melbourne.
going.
Mate, he's
Is
a
it
great
called-
watch. I love Jason Day.
Jason Day's good, isn't he?
is, yeah.
He's interesting. He's
Another
he
great
knows his
sense of humor.
stuff.
I think they're called the Lads or something
That's right.
like that.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite good.
yeah, and I think he's the whole Melbourne thing as well. He's just
They got the Melbourne
embraced
connection. Yeah.
the whole
Yeah, he has.
So he
Creative
might
thing.
be another person going over to live. Because,
Man.
with all this crap going on with the PGA and live again, and now them trying to, you got Jason Day now going into a lot of the YouTube, creator stuff.
Yeah.
And now PGA saying, if you're doing live creator stuff, you
You
probably
can't. Yeah, they've banned them.
So in terms of the
unbelievable.
in terms of the Aussie team, Leishman's gone, is he? Because
No.
he's. Oh, I thought he was out of contract and wasn't.
I
performing.
think they would come out of contract. I think Matt Jones, Leishman, maybe Cam Smith
Well, he's not going
the-
anywhere, right? Cam Smith, they'll just pay him
Probably
anything.
just paid him too much money. Yeah.
But if you got a Jason Day or a
Wow,
Minwoo
that
Lee
would
to
be-
come in
that
for that
would be-
Aussie team, be really good.
Wow.
Even I'd watch it.
Yeah. Who's the other one? He was the one that won in Lucas Herbert's the
Lucas
the
Herbert,
fourth.
he's playing
yeah.
so well.
Yeah, he's playing well too.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But that's a bit of a strange situation with the PGA Tour not allowing the creators to, if they're going to go over to live, to actually work with
Because
the
at the
PGA Tour
moment
as
you've
well.
got
No, they said no to that, and then they backed down off it.
Oh, did they did that
Yeah,
down?
all the creators said no, you can't do that.
Okay.
You don't own us.
Yeah.
And
it's just setting a bad stage, a bad feeling with all the creators now.
It is. So Wesley Bryan's obviously a winner on the PGA Tour.
What's
and he's
he
big
gonna
on
do?
YouTube. So they're allowed to. You have to ask permission from the PGA Tour. If you want to go and play in the DP World Tour or live, you had to ask permission, and they usually grant permission. So he would actually have to ask permission for him to go over and do anything with live.
that's
So I don't know whether. I mean, maybe like you said, they've backed down and they'll allow him to go over there and do it.
That's
I
so
think
wrong. That's
he's
so wrong.
He's definitely going the creator route, though,
Of course
isn't he?
he is.
Well,
That's
hang
so
on. If
wrong
they're on the
every
payroll
level.
from the PGA Tour, it's different. They're not.
No, they're
They're
not.
creators.
That's what
No,
I
they're just
mean.
yeah,
What are you gonna? What can they do? Nothing.
correct.
Well, they can sanction you to no longer be to go into a PGA event, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think the PGA Tour missed an opportunity there because when they did the creator thing at the Players Championship, it was just the creators. But now they're going over to live and they're going to include them with the players, which I think is really cool.
That is cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you've got the first ones doing it, like Grant Horvat
Yeah.
and Mickelson, right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
they've
Yeah.
started a whole series.
But now Rick Shields is doing it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this weekend they're doing.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
the
Luke
Jewels.
Kwan involved
Luke
in that as
Kwan's
well.
in there as
Yeah,
well.
and the Bryan brothers.
Yep, the Bryan brothers.
Yeah.
So that's where you've got
Fat Perez.
Fat Perez is there. That's where you've got.
Well, hang on. I draw the line at him. He's rubbish at golf.
He's just a
Perez.
personality.
He's
At least
not
if-
rubbish.
He's okay. He's actually reasonable
No,
for the
he-
way his
He can hit a
physique.
ball. Yeah.
He can hit it, but he's quite funny. Have you seen?
I've only
Ryan
watched 2 or 3 of his
Gilbert's
videos, and in every
No,
single
no.
one, he's duffing chips. He's all over the map.
No,
maybe
he's
that was a little bit. Yeah, he's actually
good,
quite
is he?
decent. Yeah, he
I mean,
strikes it
compared
quite
to
well.
Luke Kwan, come on.
Well,
Luke Kwan's
I mean,
a he's a proper player.
He's
he
a
made the
proper
cut
player.
in Macau. He won
Yeah.
in China a few years ago, so
Oh,
he's a really good
player,
player. Yeah.
This
Ryan,
sounds
this is
like-
you need to go and check out
Yeah,
these guys. Fat
the way-
Perez is quite funny.
The way you guys are talking about it sounds like news from like 2016, where it's like, the big, like the establishment is like, resisting sort of the new media, like newcomers. And it's like, how behind the times is this like for them to try to resist it? Because clearly, people love their on-demand entertainment and they're going to be, when you're checking your phone or whatever, you're going to be watching these creators. You're at least as interested in that as you are.
You know what I think the next step, it's a good point actually, because everything goes through like phases, like a platform, like, print and then digital and then this, kind of user generated stuff, which is becoming
like
the creators.
Blockbuster to Netflix. And,
The next one is professional golfers like Bryson. They're going to be creators and they're professional golfers at the same
Yeah.
time.
it's
And
already
they're-
happening.
Yeah, it's already happening. And then the creators will be left out in the cold. What we call the creators.
But
It'll
it
be-
comes down to personality, though, right? It's kind of an arms race for creativity as well, right? Because like, what's gonna grab people? Like hitting it over my house to get a hole in one or something like that. Like that's a really novel, crazy idea, but it's something that you're kind of there for when in like under certain circumstances when you're looking for that kind of entertainment. So
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed in the PGA. I mean, all this talk about, there's going to be an announcement, and we've been hearing this for like years now.
Yeah.
There's going to be an announcement, some type of, collab between Live and PGA. And even the things that we hear that we can't really talk about from people that we know in the industry and stuff, everywhere it just seems to be, no, the PGA is just putting up roadblocks all the way down. And now then coming out and doing this thing about, not being able to let the creators go in and do stuff with Live if they're doing stuff with the PGA. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
does that ever work out for anybody? Because I mean, like I can think of so many examples where like an incumbent or somebody that's like, has power. It's like you don't want to elevate something that's up and coming. You don't want to bring them onto your level. So that's what they're thinking, is that we're the PGA. We're the face of golf. And by us, like, giving some sort of acknowledgement to something like Live, it's going to elevate them to be on our level.
Well,
but it seems like that never really
means
works out
they're
well.
they're only scared to up their own game. Then
Exactly.
that's all it is.
Well, they must be absolutely quaking in their boots. They're protectionism. They're trying to circle the wagons here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's why they they doubled all of the prize, the purses
purses.
for the games, and then they brought in the creators, and if Liv hadn't come along, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
100%.
I've seen that so many times in like different industries and stuff like that, in video games and in, you know, in media and stuff like that too, where it's like it doesn't really work out that well. Like you're afraid of someone else eating your lunch, so you just like you turn your back, and they end up doing it anyways. You might as well like sit down with them and expand the.
Speaking of sitting down,
Yeah,
buffet,
it's a good point.
As we speak, I believe Yasser is with Trump at Trump National in Miami
Oh, is he?
right now. But so maybe Trump's going to bash it out.
Well, let's
Yasser.
hopefully.
Yeah, well, you know,
I don't
he's
see
struggling with Ukraine and Russia, so you know. We'll see.
I think he's got bigger problems here.
Yeah.
Tariffs and
Yeah, tariffs. Give us.
He needs a win.
Finally, the Americans are sticking up for themselves against all the tariffs you international folk are always putting on America. You guys have been bullying America for too long, okay? Like,
Oh yeah, it's well known that Irish people have been putting mad tariffs on America.
yeah, it's true. on your
which is Ryan's microphone assistant.
oh yeah, I see the game.
I think the only thing we've been doing is supplying you with cheap labour for the last 150 years. And Australia. Thanks. You're welcome.
Sorry, I've just got to bring up one thing that I found quite interesting. Ryo Hisatsune and Keita Nakajima. Have you seen what the both of them have been doing recently?
No.
It hasn't been causing a stir in the golf world, but it's a little bit unusual. So I want you to watch it. So both of them, before they putt, they have their caddy stand beside them, and just before they hit their putt, they're handing them a water bottle, and both of them take a sip before they putt, give it back to the caddy, and then they walk into the ball, and they both putt. Every single time. It's only that, and I think there's other players on the Japan tour doing it as well.
Why?
Now there was talk about on one of the sites that Ryo Satsune is doing it, so he keeps the water in his mouth when he's putting. And I don't know what for. Maybe it's equilibrium, or maybe it's to take his mind off the putt or something like that.
A bit of ballast.
Maybe that's what you
I
should try.
maybe that's what I need to do. But watch it.
You should get one of those hats with the beer
Japanese
cans
thing.
on either side.
And has their putting improved?
They're both Ryo Satsune is actually making cuts, and Keita Nakajima is
I'm
another
gonna
on the
try
DP
it.
World Tour.
I'm
So
gonna have to try
just
it.
watch it, and because I have seen it with other Japanese players on
That's
the Japan
interesting,
Tour.
isn't it?
It's quite strange, yeah. But there must be something in it because that's why they're both doing
But
every
in the
single
water,
putt.
like
You think
Not in
you're
the
saying
water.
the water spiked? Or,
Not-
Yeah.
so say like cocaine.
It's kind of a
Performance
time
enhancing,
waster, but it's just interesting why they're doing it. So I don't know if they're actually holding it in their mouth
mean-
or they're swallowing it. So
There's a lot of like little routines and rituals that people do, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it might
Yeah,
just
yeah.
be that, but also good opportunity to stay hydrated.
Maybe
but-
just
Yeah.
helps them concentrate.
Yeah.
could do both.
How's our girl doing, Ryo Takeda?
Actually, I haven't. The ladies are playing this week in the US. So the last time the ladies played was when she won in China. So we'll see. We'll just have to watch this space. So she hasn't been. I've been checking. She's not playing in Japan at the moment. So she's over in the US doing her thing.
Acclimatising.
So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that and continue to report on how she's playing.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, what's the latest with the Live tournament or the Asia tournament that's in Japan that's co-sanctioned and all the Live players are coming over for?
Yeah, look, I don't know too much more than that. Tin Wei is a lady that I used to teach in Singapore many years ago that worked for the Asian Tour, and then she was pinched by the management company that works with Liv. It's called something 54.
Performance.
Performance 54. So I think she works for them now. So she's coming over and she said it is happening. You're going to come out and watch the golf. So maybe that's an opportunity for us to get some tickets.
Yeah. Well, with the DP World Tour not having an event,
Yeah.
there's nothing on the calendar until next October with the Bay Current, right? So
Yeah.
this would be cool.
I mean, maybe I could ask her because she would be the person in the know, or PJ, if we could go out and do a podcast out there
Yeah, that'd be
in
amazing.
Caledonia.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd let us.
Is
Yeah.
it kind of like a soft launch for Live in Japan, or is it? They
I'd
just
say
couldn't-
so.
They just couldn't
Yeah,
pull
that's
it
probably
together,
you know
or-
what, that's probably a good
I mean,
way to
it's-
say it, a soft launch for Liv.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's their first step into, I think, 2026, where they'll hopefully announce a proper event here.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we should totally support it. Any sort of professional golf over here would be
I
good.
agree. Yeah, I'd like to go for it,
And
even
good
though
for
it's not Liv, but
Yeah.
to see some of the players.
Sorry?
Hey.
Is it going to be like the Brysons and that kind of thing, or is it the kind of B side of the
remix
of the Live?
What, in May?
Yeah. Do we know?
So-
Do we have
yeah.
a lineup?
We don't have a full lineup. All we know is there's
Brooks.
15 live players coming over.
Yeah,
And-
right.
Mm.
So Macau actually that was a really good field in Macau.
Yeah,
They had some
yeah.
really good players.
I
From
mean,
this guy
Sergio
from Play.
Garcia.
Yeah, Patrick Reed was up there and Carlos Ortiz, who ended up winning it. So, yeah, I think in the contract that they have to play a certain amount of these events every year. It might be 2 or 3
Yeah.
events of these international series.
And some of
as
them,
part their contract.
Brooks Koepka's won here. Ian Poulter's won here.
Yep. Dean Miyazaki.
They might fancy coming over and
Yeah,
giving
maybe.
it a whirl.
Yeah, I'd like to watch Brooks Koepka. He would be.
And did they
someone
get
I'd like to
world
see.
ranking points for playing in the
Yeah,
Asian
well, that's
Tour?
the whole idea of when Liv got into bed with the Asian Tour is for the players to be able to get
Right.
world ranking points. That's why, like a random Asian Tour event, you'll get Patrick Reed going to play it. And it's not because he's contracted to do it, but because he can get world ranking points.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't need it so much because he won the Masters, so he's got access to a lot of the...
He could just pretend that he went and lie.
Yeah, that's right.
God love him. He is a good golfer.
He's a great player, but what a strange thing to do. You know, some of the stuff, you know, it's not
crazy.
It wasn't just that episode in the bunker either. It was other stuff that they've been calling him on it for years. He'd go into the rough. Like it's a 7-iron into the green. He'd pull out his 5-wood and tap down the grass before it. And and give the 5-wood back to his caddy and then pull the 7-iron. And all of a sudden the ball's sitting up in the rough.
Yeah.
And he's been caught dozens
Or
of
you
times.
just ask the nearest person. It didn't bounce, did it? No.
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
great.
That
Well,
whole
it's
episode,
plugged.
yeah, it's that US Open golf course where he did. That was a bit strange.
That was weird.
But so blatant. I mean, he knows cameras because he's a great player. Cameras are following him around, but he continues to push the rules, and he's just got the worst reputation now. He had a bad reputation anyway, but doing that is just
He's
made it
bad for
worse.
Liv.
To be honest, I'm surprised he's not hated more.
Yeah,
He's pretty hated.
No, I don't know. I mean,
yeah. I think he's pretty much
He's pretty-
despised. Yeah,
Yeah,
even
okay.
he's got no friends. Apparently, even I think it was Jordan Spieth was talking about it that he's a loner. So him and his caddy. So his wife's brother is his caddy, and it's the three of them are a team, and they don't talk to anybody. They don't offend anybody. They don't do the wrong thing. They're not nasty to anybody, but the three of them travel around the world, and he makes a fortune. I mean, he's got so much money.
I was going to say, is he hated by fans? Or hated on?
Yeah, when he went down to
well?
the President's Cup in 2019 to Australia, they gave him such a hard time.
Wow. Well, I mean, like he must be having fun though. Can you imagine? It's just like you and your crew, and you're just like you against the world. And these assholes. You
maybe
can't
it's
stop
a-
me from making money. you know?
Maybe he's like that McEnroe. Remember McEnroe used to get really angry and nobody liked him, but it used to help him. And Montgomery was a little bit the same. He used to sort of fuel them. So maybe he does like it. Maybe it gets him up and chip on his shoulder makes him perform better. I don't know.
but like you said, he is a great golfer.
Oh, he's a wonderful player. I mean, he won the Masters in 2000. I think it was 2018. I mean, what a performance that was. He's a great player.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him that.
Did he win? He just won after Sergio, was it? Before Sergio.
Yes, I think it was 2018. I remember him.
So Sergio, Ryder Cup year, he just doesn't have a chance to get on the team, does he?
Don't
Captain's
think so.
pick.
Yeah, maybe captain's pick. Yeah, but he paid all that money to be able to
Play
give
on
himself
DP
the
World Tour.
opportunity to play in it. I think it was £1 or £2 million to pay. I think it was the fines he paid.
I don't,
Yeah,
think
I
that's
don't know
a-
if he's
that's a
quite the
problem for
caliber
him.
of the player to be on that.
Really? He's
Side.
played
Yeah,
pretty well this year.
Yeah, look,
and
he's
and
played-
last year
yeah,
played pretty well
yeah.
in Live as well.
But there is a lot of young players
Ryder Cup,
coming
mate.
through.
That just, the switch goes off in the head for the
yeah,
Ryder Cup.
yeah,
so
he's
he
very
might,
good like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
If he comes over, he might be looking to win to kind of show Luke Donald that he's
Yeah,
that
and he's
on
good friends
form.
with Luke Donald too. They played a lot of Ryder Cups together, so
Yeah.
it might be impetus for Luke to pick him. We'll see.
It's a pretty stacked team now.
Yeah, it is.
The Rasmus brothers and
Yeah,
Ram and
yeah,
I mean there's a lot of players
yeah.
before him.
Oberg. Yeah.
Oberg, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, Lowry and Rory and yeah.
Yeah. Lowry's been playing pretty well. Like he's made quite a bit of money. I was following the Irish golf social media channels, and there was someone put up something about how much money he made last year, and it was like $10 million.
Was it? Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah. It didn't win anything. Oh, he
Right.
won. He won the Zurich with Rory, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. Oh, does that really count?
Yeah, it's
Well, I
$3
guess it
million.
does. It's a lot of money.
Or $2 million maybe each or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Anything else going on in the world of golf?
We kind of teased them about it a little bit earlier.
Oh,
But
TGL.
The TGL did have their championship, right? So it was.
That's right. We haven't talked about that.
I don't know. Like,
Okay, we're finished.
did anybody watch it?
I know nothing. I know, haven't followed it at all.
I seen some highlights. I know that what's his name? That guy that
Tiger Woods.
Billy Horschel.
no Billy Horschel. That guy. He was.
Rory?
Everybody loves Billy Horschel now. People used to hate him because he used to talk to himself. He used to be like laughing. Ha ha, Billy. He talked.
Oh, cool.
He was like he heard voices, and he got a big ass putt to
right,
win
did
the
that
whole
big
thing.
thing,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know.
Yeah, that's all I've seen as
Yeah.
well.
Oh no,
They
there was
probably had the green moving to.
someone chipped in.
Push the ball in.
Yeah, right.
He actually liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good entertainer. Actually, he's all right. But
Yeah.
otherwise, most of them are
He's
dead
a
from the neck
narrator.
up.
Yeah. You know.
And what's his name? Tommy Fleetwood did
Right.
it, nearly chipped in or something like that. That was it.
So it's all done this season. It's finished. So off season, I presume they're going to bring in a lot of their creators and do stuff because this is what do they call it? It's a purpose-built facility,
Right.
The SoFi Center.
so they're not going to just close it up until next
Yeah.
season, are they? But anyway, I'll be
Where is it?
interested to
LA or
see how the season 2 is changed.
Yeah, what they're
season
gonna
one.
do
What
something.
they're going to do
Some
differently.
discussion on that could be interesting. Is like they're going to build a new stadium, like a second stadium
Less
in
people.
West Coast. So I think the current one is in the East Coast. I don't want to say New York. I'm not sure, but somewhere in the
Oh, I
East
don't
Coast.
know. I thought it was in West Coast. I
Right,
could
but
be
then
wrong.
they're saying
Las
they build
Vegas.
a West Coast to streamline it, the logistics of travel and stuff like that. And then they're also
makes
going to
sense.
build there's going to be a Dallas team or a Texas team.
Okay.
So like those are ways that they're looking to expand. But yeah, surprisingly, what I can see, there hasn't been much talk about embracing more of the creators, which seems like the no-brainer, right?
Oh, they're
Yeah.
definitely going
Yeah.
to do it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
I wonder if they're going to bring in their caddies, like Roy said they were going to.
Yeah, we talked about this the other week. Right?
Roy swears about it. I've been having conversation with him on, I think it was on WhatsApp, and he swears, but he loved it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's phenomenal, isn't it? And I was like,
I said the
are we
same
watching
thing.
the same thing?
I said we
Easy.
need to get you in on the podcast
Yeah,
and talk
for
about
sure.
how much of a debacle it's been, and then he kind of didn't answer.
Yeah, poor guy. You'd feel like we're beating up on him.
Yeah, no, Roy's terrific, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
one thing
Well,
that,
he's towing the company line there, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, what else can you say?
yeah, that's right. I think he has to.
well, he does have a good point in that you can play the courses that they play on the track on those on their simulators, if that's what you're talking about.
No.
I mean, I think that's right. Yeah, you'd rather play real courses.
I mean, I had when I at the golf show, I had hit on the simulator. It was good fun. I liked it. Yeah. Interestingly, his daughter actually is going to become like probably a professional golfer.
Yeah, she's quite a good player.
She's an amazing player.
She's like she's tiny little young thing, and she's like the number one amateur or something in
Yeah,
Japan.
she looks
She's
good.
something.
Yeah.
Played with her last year.
They were saying with TGL, though, I thought it was interesting. They said that it was successful in that they wanted to attract a younger demographic. And so they said that it's 12 years younger than the usual demographics that watch things like the PGA. So, I mean, if that was the goal.
How do they
then-
track that?
I mean, I don't know.
Minwoo Lee.
Oh, it's an ESPN thing, right? So maybe their streaming services or something like that. They can get some stats.
I just remember something that I saw on TGL. I'm going to say it. It's like, I can't remember who the player was. They're getting like really hyped up as if they just won the Masters or something. They have the fist pumping and everything, and the camera's following him, and he's yelling into the crowd, and so excited. "Ah!" Then you see all the crowd just looking at him with no excitement whatsoever.
That's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But everyone, I mean, I don't know how much is the kind of propaganda, but they say that it's a good visit, right? You can go and you can get food and drinks, and you can sit down, and the players are right there.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to follow them around the golf course. You can just sit there and look at them, and I guess that's it. But yeah, it does seem a bit subdued.
Yeah, that guy's like celebrating on the field, and all the audience is like looking at the screen on the side or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's thinking,
But anyway,
not excited.
Roy, come on the show, mate, and
Yeah, we
tell
need to get
tell us
right,
we're
yeah.
all wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be gentle. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, when are we going to get your mate Warren over?
Ben.
Mm.
Yeah,
He'd come over anytime.
he would definitely. Yeah,
You've got to get him in.
definitely come over. He's really interesting to talk to.
I think we might have to get an ale ready for him as well.
That's right. Yeah. He's so passionate about golf,
isn't he?
And about
Oh,
course
man.
design and shaping and
Mate,
the whole
just
thing.
check out his
Golf clubs,
Instagram and all the beautiful pictures he posts on there and everything.
Yeah,
eh?
what he's been doing as well is he allows people to be interns, because he said one of the problems in Japan, there's not enough young people who are interested in golf course design, or having the ability to learn how to shape and things like that. So I don't think he employs people, but he allows people to come out as interns and be involved in the project. So it's to understand a little bit more about it. So he's really trying to push that, which
Free
I think is a
labour.
true. It's what it is. It's free labor, but it gives these kids an opportunity to maybe there's something in that they might become.
Sounds like a tough career.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's not many golf courses getting made in Japan anymore. That's for
No,
sure.
there's more renovations than
Bit of
than new
renovations,
golf courses. Yeah. So there's an opportunity. I mean, whether it's as a shaper or an architect or something like that. Yeah. So all the designers that are coming over are always from overseas. There's no Japanese designers that I know of that are having
see.
much
But
success.
I
doing this
imagine
sort of thing.
he's like fully booked out all the time, though.
He flies all over. He's flat out.
right?
Because he can do both. He's a little bit unusual because he's a course designer, but he can get on those enormous machines
Yeah, he
and
does
push
do it. Yeah.
all the dirt around. So usually I think they're one or the other. I think there's a few people like Tom Doak. He can do both. So Ben's a little bit special like that. And he's got such passion for it. But he loves golf in Japan.
One project, it's not just a couple of day job. It takes months and months. So
It does. Yeah, and sometimes years.
so always booked out, and
Yeah.
he's got quite a good reputation and everything.
Yeah, he
so-
does. Yeah. I mean, he's worked with some of the best designers in the world as well. So he flies. He was just flying back to the US. So I think he sort of travels between the US and Japan. And he speaks the lingo as well. So
Yeah, it seems like nice work if you can get it, kind of thing, But
He's
kudos.
originally from Scotland.
Scottish.
He's got the least Scotland
Yeah, he
accent
does.
I've
No,
ever
no,
heard from a
he
Scottish.
talks like a laid
almost
back
like an American
Yeah.
sometimes.
West Coast
He's got-
surfer, but then you go laddie at the end of it, and you're like, what? And he's a big red beard.
Far
yeah, that's
out,
right.
laddie.
Yeah, and he carries his golf clubs everywhere, and he's got the old blades and
Just three
wooden-
blades.
Yeah,
Long,
And long,
and
short.
short.
yeah, that's right. And he's got a wooden-headed driver.
By the way he
Very old
strikes,
school.
his ball striking is off the charts.
Yeah, he's cool. So I think he's on Instagram. It's called Far and Shore. Check it out because he posts some really, really cool stuff. Worthwhile following
Yeah,
him.
we'll put it up.
Yeah, we should.
Nice. Okay, well, Ben, if you're listening, please come
Yes,
over.
come on.
And grace us with your presence. We'll have ales aplenty.
Yes.
At the ready. Yeah. So, any golf happening this week? Beautiful weekends, cherry blossoms, lads. What are we doing? I've
It
got
is.
a broken rib, so I can't play. You
Yeah,
playing?
no, I'm not playing, but I've got a lot of stuff coming up. April and May for us is silly season here, so everybody coming from overseas. So there'll be a little bit of golf in the next couple of months. So
Damon?
Yeah, we actually have a golf partner this Sunday.
Oh, nice.
good on you.
So
Where you going?
Go out there. We're going out to Tokyo Bay side.
Ah, cool.
Oh, that's a lovely course.
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah,
Not sure
nice.
about the weather though.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see monkeys. You always see monkeys in that one hole.
Yeah, is it the season for the monkeys? I can't
I don't
remember.
know. What do you mean? Like they're alive all year round?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I've
I
been out
hate
there.
monkeys. I got to put that out there. I can't
All
stand
s-
monkeys.
Oh yeah, I've been out there all seasons, and you'll see lots of them one time and absolutely zero other times. So
I think every time I've played Tokyo Bayside and I've played it all different times of the year, I've always seen monkeys on the same hole.
really,
Yeah, every time. And deer. They have those tiny deer.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool golf course, though, isn't
But
it?
anyway,
Great
it
views.
is
Like a little
I like that
ecosystem
course.
over there.
Yeah, they've got some really cool holes.
It's really reasonable as well, actually.
Yeah.
price wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 drivable par 4s. It's cool.
Drivable for you, probably not for me. Who are you taking over there?
Jesus, that was very sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Two
Joe.
people.
players?
Yep, two players out there.
Poor Joe, the best golfer in the room. Oh,
Yeah. Boring.
What's so boring?
Okay, what about the new lab center faced
It looks
driver?
cool.
Driver.
Driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
you
doing
not see that?
drivers now.
Yep.
Really?
Is that what you call it? Center faced? What do you
Yeah.
call it?
A centre shaft.
that's
Yeah.
centre shaft.
So goes into the centre of the head in the driver.
Yes.
So the head of lab apparently is a little bit of apparently very talented, but a little bit of a different cat. So Dean
I think
Rogers
it's
is the
gonna work.
distributor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, him and Masashi are the distributors for lab here, and they're having
Yeah,
great
they
success.
do. They were doing crank drivers, and then
That's
they were
right.
then they were doing Snell golf balls.
Snell golf balls. No, doing loudmouth closing. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they stopped doing that.
With the center shaft, I kind of imagine a lot of people be towing it. I don't know.
I'll have to have a look at that.
It's
I
all
don't know
balanced
that.
though.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's,
I mean, their whole thing is about no torque, right? I mean, there's no twisting of the putter, so maybe there's some of that technology in the driver. I don't know. It's the first time I've heard
looks
of it. So
cool.
check it out. Does it?
looks different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it a whirl.
And I got to do a shout out. FootJoy shoes. Go and buy some of the FootJoy. Go have a look at the new range that's just been released. They're amazing. I've always
Is that
been a
right?
classic looking shoes, but I've tried. They've sent a couple of pairs to me the other day, and I was going to bring them on to show, but we're not on video. But amazing, really comfortable, very solid. A lot of the shoes that used to be kind of sneaker types, always felt like I was going to fall out the sides of them, but these are really secure. So
I got some FootJoy rip-offs on Temu, 5,000 yen, and they are slick as. I'll send you a picture. I'll put it in the chat.
until the soles fall off.
Yeah, I thought they were going to fall apart me, but they were actually really comfortable.
You can't be boastful about
Yeah.
buying golf shoes off Temu.
It was just an experiment. I just wanted to.
Is it FJ or JF?
No, they don't have anything, but it's exactly the same as the FootJoys, but just no logos on it. Very clean.
Oh, I can't wait
Probably the
until
same
you're out there in
factory.
summer and that sole falls off, because that's what's going to
And he slips over, breaks an ankle.
miss.
Yeah, could do.
If we're plugging stuff, I put up some more videos for different golf shops where you can get your Muta clubs, or get some custom fitting clubs. We put up a Dunlop clubhouse as well. So Kieran and I went and checked that place out.
Yeah, man, the actually place was worth a visit. It's so Dunlop owns Strixon and Zexio and Dunlop
And Cleveland Golf.
and Cleveland Golf,
Okay.
and they have this. It's like they have all their technology in one spot, and you can go in and they have 3 bays, and you can try all their clubs.
Right.
Just go in and have a demo or a fitting.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Like all their stuff, it seems like you could buy it off the rack. Just go in, have a go.
Pretty
Just buy it
affordable
off-
too. Actually, I was comparing the prices, and it's good price. Yeah.
Like the wedges, right? There was one wedge in particular. I can't remember which series it was. Was
I
it
think
Strixon?
Cleveland?
Was it Cleveland?
It was Cleveland. Yeah.
And they had so that your face had the normal like grooves like going straight, and then on the toe and on the heel they had all these circular ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as far and it just looked amazing.
Okay.
So some cool.
Yeah, you were explaining to me at the time. It was like so that even if you kind of like miss it or something like
Yeah,
that,
if you hit on the toe, you'll still get a
little
bit of control and
yeah.
spin and stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Callaway and TaylorMade are doing that. They've got grooves all the way out to the edge of the club, which I think is quite a smart idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can hook you up with a reservation. So if you want to go and check out those
Yeah.
things and get
Well
some
worth
clubs
it.
while
And
you're in
it's-
Japan,
and it's smack bang in Shinjuku.
yeah, super.
It's like it's right
convenient.
next to that government building that
Yeah.
looks like the Empire State Building
Yeah,
that they do projection mapping on every night. It's like it's kind of just right beside that, right across from what hotel? The Hyatt. It was the Hyatt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's right across the street from the Hyatt in Shinjuku.
It's like just a kitty corner to like a Hilton as well. So there's
That's right,
Bunch
yeah.
of
Yeah.
nice hotels in that area.
So that's good, because one of my students, Michael Chen, has been speaking to Damon, or maybe it was you, right? He went and got fitted for a set of Muras, and he was looked after really, really well. He's really excited. He might have them already. I'm not quite sure, but he went and Michael did it. He's an English speaker. I think he speaks a little bit of Japanese, but he loved the whole
Michael?
thing. And yeah, Michael.
Oh,
so
yeah.
congratulations, guys! You got a
Yeah,
very
he went
happy-
out there
happy
and
camp
got
off.
I think he
got a
got
set
some irons and wedges.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was
Yeah.
pumped.
It's cool actually getting the fittings from the Japanese brands because they all do it differently.
Yeah, they
PRG do it
Yeah.
differently. Mura,
They all have like a
Mizuno,
unique methodology.
they all have their own way of
and,
doing it.
Yeah.
It's different. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's a very nice experience, you know. But
Yeah.
they're all the fitters are amazing. Very, very good. You know.
Too bad not many of them speak English though. That's like the one thing. But they're used to it. I mean, like they know how to
Yeah,
help. They know how to take care of
They
it.
have their little
golf's
translator
universal.
app.
Yeah,
and-
universal language a lot
Yeah.
of the time anyway. So
Their pocket talk.
yeah.
That's it. Okay, lads. Well, I think we've talked on enough. So I will see you guys next week. And
Yeah.
until then, enjoy the Sakura.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great
See you
weekend.
then.
Cheers, boys.